All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, fellow Pandemonium travelers, this is Seattle Pandemonium Shutdown, day 362 by my count. So what's going on? What's going down? This is always the challenge, right? Maybe this is like the newsman's dilemma, because I'm essentially the faceless newsman yelling into a phone, really, while I drive and discussing the topics of the day. So I was honest about my near-attendant non-traversy coverage. Like, there are things I simply don't need to know about. This came up with Bari Weiss, who was a New York Times person, opinion editor or something. I don't know. I don't know who she is. There was some kind of scandal with her a week ago, and I'm like, I literally asked, do I need to know about this? And somebody told me, yeah, you should look into this. And I asked why, and they didn't have an answer. So just because I'm talking about something in a video doesn't mean it actually matters to you or anyone. While at the same time, I can maybe make something matter to you by articulating correctly that there's a severity to the issue. Again, at the risk of just becoming a fearmonger, right? At the risk of just being everything's insane and everything's terrible. What matters here? So, let me give you an example of something stupid, okay? Hillary Clinton, okay, put out a tweet. Okay, see, we're already at a level of abstraction from reality that a lot of people roll their eyes at. I'm talking about a woman who was never president and will never be president, putting out a small text message on a thing called Twitter. Okay? She put out a tweet. Okay? I should lose man points for saying the word tweet. Okay? I don't, because I'm insanely masculine, but stick with me. The tweet was about Dr. Seuss, because all we do is talk about Dr. Seuss this week. So it was about Dr. Seuss being canceled and Republicans complaining about cancel culture when Republicans were the ones who created the Freedom Fries media. God, what do you call it? It's it's sort of propaganda, right? Okay, kids, Google it. Back after 9/11, France refused to join our coalition of the willing and go and start bombing Afghanistan and Iraq. So our Republican leadership at the time, maybe it was Bush, put it out in the media, whoever it was the Bush White House, I suppose, put out that we were no longer going to call French fries French fries. We were going to call them freedom fries. Okay. Now, this is a callback to World War I, I think, when after they sank the Lusitania, the Germans, we said we're no longer calling it sauerkraut. We're calling it freedom cabbage, because we're not using a German word anymore, because we're enemies with you now. So we're not going to call them French fries anymore. They're going to be freedom fries. Now, okay, Liberty cabbage, freedom fries, Hillary Clinton's tweet, okay? This is idiotic for a variety of reasons, but the main reason is that we still have French fries everywhere. And if you went somewhere and ordered freedom fries, it would only be some aging dork like me would know that you're making a joke and would assume you're joking, right? Having waited tables in the mid-aughts, people would jokingly say, and freedom fries, and you'd be like, sure thing, right away. Because it was a joke, because it was stupid at the time. Like, yeah, French fries. We're not gonna rename them freedom fries. They're French fries. That's just what that is. Look, I know in England they call them chips. They're not chips. Potato chips are chips. You guys call them crisps. That's fine also, but French fries are not chips. And, you know, I will die on this hill. I will die on this French fried bunker hill. Anyways, it's idiotic because that's not cancel culture. And there's this perpetual gaslighting nonsense that a lot of leftists engage in, which is cancel culture isn't real. And then they go, well, look at Neera Tanden. She got canceled. That's terrible. She didn't get canceled. Like, this is really not difficult. And the reason that they keep perpetuating this idea that cancel culture isn't real is because they want to be able to retain the just wander around, bro. It's good. You're not like in the street or anything. God. Is they want to retain the ability to literally delete people from the internet and from polite society generally, and from the economy specifically, is really where it hurts, for things that they don't like. This is called command culture, okay? I'm not sure if I created the term. I feel like I'm the only person using the term. I don't think I've ever seen it anywhere else. It's like a command economy. You have an economy where people engage in trade with one another out of organically and naturally, okay? Then you have a command economy, which is literally the imposition of any regulation on anybody at any time in terms of business. There's a tax. I have to tax you. I have to tax that person. You took it across a state line. That therefore means there's another tax. You have now imposed a command economy onto the actual economy. Now it's the same thing with culture, okay? It's Gina Carano put out a tweet or an Instagram post or whatever that was like a poor resolution boomer take about how everyone is nasty to each other these days, and she loses her job, not because she was a bad actress, not because people didn't like the character on the show, but because they didn't like her saying something they don't like in the public sphere. Okay, so she loses her gig with Disney, which means all the Disney subsidiaries are going to treat her as though she's radioactive. Okay, and again, poor Gina Carano. She's going to be fine, okay? She's going to land somewhere. She's, she's going to figure it out. Well, she landed at Daily Wire or something, right? But the command culture is a top-down it's a sculpting of culture from a top-down sort of, look at you, you're cooking. Look at the high production values I bring you guys. It's a top-down enforcing of cultural values and perspectives by mass media. But it's not simply like mass media. It's not like Disney just puts stuff out and everyone just gobbles it up without criticism. No, they criticize it, but when you criticize it, then you become accused of being part of Gamergate. Everything's Gamergate. It's like 8 years ago or something that like Gamergate was a thing, and then people still are like, Gamergate is causing this backlash against the firing of Gina Carano. And this is just, I don't know if this is just like mental illness or something, but like the Gamergate was calling this out, that game review websites were giving positive reviews to companies that, oh my God, what are we doing? You just drive, just go forward. There's literally nothing in front of you. Oh my goodness. It's like 2 days in a row now I'm going to lose my ish in traffic. Okay, look. Culture is created by, in large part, massive multinational corporations. I did a whole podcast about this called Imagination Inc. like 5 years ago, about how increasingly fewer really big corporations control all of the entertainment properties you love. Batman, Superman, Marvel, DC, they are taking over Star Wars, they're taking over, Disney took all that stuff over, and then they turn it into garbage that promotes ideas that are supposedly, I mean, it's fine to have a multiracial Star Wars. We had multiracial Star Wars back when Star Wars was good, back in like the 70s and 80s, right? But they take it and just turn it into basically solely that. Don't put in the work to actually make a meaningful story. And then if you don't like it, they just say that you're racist, even though what it is vacuous garbage that adds nothing to our culture or society, right? There's film, which is an art form that adds context to our society. It informs people about the characters and the behaviors and their sacrifices to try to achieve things, whether it's true or not. If it's a true story or not, it's fiction or it doesn't matter. It adds value to your life by kind of like accessing your pathos about these characters. The new Disney franchises, aside from basically Mandalorian, are all trash that just throw stuff on the screen that looks like Star Wars and expects you to like create a story for yourself. Maybe it entertains children, but you know, it also pushes this concept, and the journos and everyone else reinforce this concept that if you don't like it, it's because you don't like, what was that, Rose, what was her name? Rose Tico? What was the actress's name? You don't like her. That's why you don't like this. You don't like John Boyega because he's black. No, I don't like the movie because you wrote trash dialogue for the kid from Attack the Block, who I liked in Attack the Block, because Attack the Block was at least kind of like original and fun. Oh, my goodness. I'm gonna blow a gasket just trying to explain command culture. We're being propagandized for reasons that kind of escape me, and at the end of the day, I think it's killing off these franchises that were much beloved by scapegoating poor content creation. And it's bizarre to think of a company like Disney, with the money they have, just cheapskating their way through actually making quality content and relying on this command culture nonsense to help them skate by. Anyways, that's enough from me for a Friday. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.